Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to today's creature feature. My name is Isabella and I am a conservation educator here at the Salato Wildlife Education Center. Today we're going to be discussing one of my favorite snakes, but first let's talk a little bit more about snakes in Kentucky. Kentucky has 32 native snakes, 4 of which are venomous. You might have seen a snake out hunting or hiking with your family and not really known what it was. Well, today we're going to be talking about the eastern milk snake. These snakes can be found across the entire state of Kentucky. They range from about 2 to 3 feet long on average. And this one, he's coiled so you can't see now, but he is about 3 feet long. Eastern milk snakes come in a variety of colors. Here at Salato, we have 3 different eastern milk snakes, and they're all a little bit different from each other. You're going to get the chance to see 2 today. This first one has a light brown to gray back, and then has brown blotches that are surrounded in a black border. Our next one is a little bit different. This snake is more of a brown color, and its blotches aren't that different than its back color. They're both sort of a brown color. But the black that borders the darker brown is a little bit thinner than what you saw in the other snake. Eastern milk snakes also have what appears to be kind of a checkered pattern on their bellies, that white and black that you can see. They're also smooth-scaled snakes. Some people ask, are snakes slimy? Well, they're not slimy. But snakes that are smooth-scaled might appear to be slimy, but that's just because they're shiny. Like I said earlier, eastern milk snakes can be found all across the state of Kentucky. Now that means that they're going to have to be able to adapt to a lot of different habitats here. That means that they can live in forests, maybe the forest edges, meadows, or even barns. Their presence in or around barns is what got them their name, the milk snake. And that's what makes them my favorite snake here in Kentucky. These snakes were hanging around barns, and farmers who had cows that maybe didn't have the best season, they were producing a little bit less milk that year, thought that maybe these snakes were sneaking into their barns and drinking milk from their cows' udders. Well, we know that snakes don't actually drink milk, but they were in that barn for a very good reason. They were hunting rodents. Eastern milk snakes love to eat rodents, but they also eat bugs and other things like amphibians or frogs or even bird eggs. Now, like I said earlier, they're a medium-sized snake, so there are going to be predators of this snake like the red-tailed hawk, maybe possums or raccoons. But another predator that might not be as obvious would be humans. Like I said, eastern milk snakes have a variety of different colors. Some of them appear red. Now, we don't have one here at Salato for me to show you, but I do have a photo of one that I will grab. Right here, you can see that this milk snake is showcasing a redder color. And that might help him escape other predators because it makes him look like a copperhead, which is a venomous snake that we have here in Kentucky. And while it might protect him from other animals, it's going to make him more susceptible to being killed by humans who mistake that eastern milk snake from the venomous copperhead. But there are a few ways you can tell the difference between the copperhead and the eastern milk snake. The blotches or the saddles on the copperhead look kind of like a Hershey kiss, while the ones on the eastern milk snake are a little more round. There are also a few other ways you can tell the difference between a venomous and a non-venomous snake here in Kentucky. And that first one is going to be the head shape. Venomous snakes have more of a triangular head. You can kind of see it here in this picture. While the non-venomous snakes are going to have a rounder head, like the eastern milk snake. You can also differentiate them by their eyes. That pupil shape on the non-venomous snake is going to be round, while the pupil shape on the venomous snake is going to be an elliptical shape, or kind of like a cat. Secondly, The venomous snakes here in Kentucky have these two pits. They're heat-sensing pits that help them sense their prey. And lastly, another useful tool, and while if you do see a snake out in the wild, you always want to leave it alone and let it be wild, but if you find a shed, you can use this to tell the difference between a venomous and a non-venomous snake. Under this anal plate, which is used to go to the bathroom and give birth to live young or lay eggs, the scales on a venomous snake, they're just going to have this singular row of scales below that anal plate. While the non-venomous snake, like the eastern milk snake, is going to have 2 rows of scales below their anal plate. While these are useful tools to help you identify a venomous or non-venomous snake here in the state, those aren't the only things you should use to tell. You want to become familiar with the patterns and the colors of the ones that might be in your area.